Hello everyone, this is Punk Rock Gamer coming at you with a video of mine. Probably one of the first videos on my channel, here to talk about Street Fighter 6, or at least my thoughts about Street Fighter 6 so far. First off, it had a fantastic start in comparison to Street Fighter 5. Of course, Street Fighter 5 was actually a pretty big shit show. By the way, hopefully you like my training mode being in the background. I'm trying to experiment with some B-roll here. The mechanics are simple but deep in Street Fighter 6. Easy to pick up, hard to master. And I think that's actually good for newcomers at least. There, of course, there's the modern style. There's also, in classic style, it's a little bit more lenient in comparison to previous games, which is also pretty good, but it might be a little bit boring here and there. The music can use a bit more work. Recent tracks have been fairly good, a step in the right direction. Oh yeah, this note. I've actually been reading on notes here. Yeah, the music... I understand that they were going for like a more Street Fighter 3 vibe with like hip hop and like, you know, with like urban culture. But I think it's not really my cup of tea. You know, I'm more into punk rock, as it may be obviously known, but the recent tracks have been fairly ideal with, like, you know, season 3. Well, no. Actually, season 2. My mistake. Season 2. Especially the guest characters for Mai and Terry. Their audio's been very good. Of course, it might be just because they're in their Fatal Fury tracks, just a remix of them. Now, the new characters... I want to talk about the new characters at this point. They're a mixed bag. Lily could use a bit of an overhaul. Of course, I think she's a good idea, having like a more resource-heavy T-Hawk. Of course, she's not really the best character. If anything, she's the worst character in the game. Of course, this is coming from someone who's like Plat 5, almost Diamond. So my opinion might vary between people. But the popular opinion goes that she is not very good as a character. But I subbed her and, well, I mean, they're kind of right. But with a little bit of work... I'm pretty sure with a few buffs, she can be at least decent, if not okay. Marissa is a welcome addition. Yeah, Marissa, she's like one of those brawler types, kind of like Abigail was in Street Fighter 5. And, you know, she's more into, like, you know, punkration, as many may expect. I'm going to try not to have any dead air here, sorry. Yeah, this is like my first video, so bear with me here. Yeah, Marissa's a welcome addition either way. Jamie is super annoying to fight with, but a menace at the same time. Albeit he's hard for someone to fight him who doesn't know the tech. And as someone who struggled a lot on fighting Jamie, he can be very, very tricky. He has very ambiguous, like, frame traps and all that. And on top of that, he has some very good concepts, at least unlocking moves as you, you know, come across your resources and, you know, add more and more drinks to them. You know, like at level 3, he does a command grab. At level 1, he gets his dive kick. At level 2, he gets his anti-fireball move. So that's an interesting concept. I really do like his design in general. He's really great, actually. I actually do like the guy. Let's see. Aki. Right. Aki was a DLC character in Season 1 that got introduced. She is a complete overhaul or reimagining of Fong from Street Fighter 5. And Fong was already weird, but Aki is even weirder in a good way. I think she... kind of carries her archetype as like a long range, close range character hybrid. Her thing is like, you know, her status effect and, you know, poison. Of course, she has like very good frame data, I think. Well, as far as I know, Kimberly is a representative of a Shinryu style. She's a little bit more vintage as far as like her aesthetic, being, you know, liking the 80s and all that. But she is a offshoot of Guy, as a lot of players may know from like Street Fighter 4. But also Zeku was a part of, you know, that was Shinryu style in Street Fighter 5. Although I think Zeku was also based off of Strider. I mean, I'm kind of like going off of Kimberly here, but like she's a welcome addition to the various ninja characters that we have in Street Fighter. Now, Manon isn't very thought out, but more so than poor Lily. Oh yeah, this note. Manon, as far as my take on Manon, she's okay. A little bit better than Lily. She's a little bit more thought out. She's a little bit more thought out, although not by much. I understand the idea of like gaining resources via like metals. And hell, even Idom cooks with her a lot of the time in like the pro scene. But I don't know. She's like, she seems like there's like an idea there, but it's like it's not complete. Kind of like how Lily is. If anything, she's like the second worst character in the game. Though, I mean, that's coming from like a Plat 5 player, so if you want to debate that in the comments, then sure, go ahead. I mean, I'll respond to any comments that, you know, give me criticism. All criticism is appreciated. Of course, I'm a very big stutterer as well. Although I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be a little bit more, what's the word? A little bit more cordial with my words and more thought out. Now, in Season 1, JP was a menace. They did bring him back to his former glory, but for a little while in Season 2, they shot his knees. Even if for a bit. Now, I think he was supposed to be like the boss character of Street Fighter 6 until they brought back M. Bison. I don't know why they keep bringing back M. Bison. It's kind of like, I mean, he's been a villain since Street Fighter 2, so I guess it's probably half nostalgia, half, well, they got an idea for the old villain character. Still, I'm tired of Bison already. Not because I suck at fighting him, but, you know, he's been the main villain for Street Fighter. Yeah, Shadowloo in general has been the main villain for Street Fighter for 35, almost 40 years now. They gotta, like, mix it up. Come on, Capcom. Anyway, as far as like the idea of guest characters, I'll go ahead and move on to that one. They were interesting, but I'm intrigued with how they'll follow up from Terry and Mai from SNK, if they ever do that. Maybe we'll get some Tekken characters, just like how Akuma was in Tekken 7. Although, I doubt that they will do that. Besides, like a 3D game being into it like a 2D game, but if they were willing to do like 2 guest characters, maybe they will do more guest characters in the future. Although for Season 3, spoilers, I mean, this video has come out after Season 3 and right before Sagat and right after Elena in the big Season 3 patch. You know, I've been like very lazy at making this one. But hey, at least I'm making it now. I'm very intrigued about what they will do next as far as guest characters. Now, in fighting games in general, like for instance in Guilty Gear Strive for Cyberpunk, they've been doing guest characters from that franchise. I wonder if they will actually do more SNK characters, since they've been kind of rubbing shoulders between like City of the Wolves and Street Fighter 6, because Ken and Chun-Li are in both Street Fighter 6 and City of the Wolves. Although I kind of doubt that they will come off with guest characters at this point in time. Maybe Season 4, maybe Season 5, but we'll just have to see. Anyway, as far as like the whole, okay, so the transition from that to some more mechanics. Throw loops, I don't think they're that bad, and it's mostly like mentality, in my honest opinion. I mean, we do have drive reversal to kind of be a secondary reversal option that isn't as risky, albeit it is -6 on block, so that means a 6 frame will punish it. I mean, there are ways around throw loops, and there are also ways around, the mentality of throw loops. And I don't think, like, a lot of the best players in the world will take advantage of throw loops. It's kind of like more of a gimmick, if anything. But I think drive reversal, the reason why they might have added that on Wake Up in, like, Season 2 was probably because of throw loops. That was probably their address to throw loops, and yet they still aren't done with it. Same thing for, like, the Season 3 balance of trying to get back your drive and a little bit of super from throw teching. But yeah, I see what idea they're going towards, but I think they still need to cook on it, honestly. It might not be that, deep, but it might go deeper than I might be experienced with. Honestly, in my opinion, I haven't really dealt with throw loops much. Now, sure, I'm a jury main, if you don't know. Well, you might actually know from the B-roll, but I'm a jury main. She has a throw loop, but at the same time, she kind of loses her shimmy option at that point, and she can only backdash with it. So, I mean, I'm not sure. I've actually tried like a few more brain dead characters, like Ken. Ken's been nerfed over the course of the seasons, but he still has a pretty damn good throw loop, especially if you consider drive rush. And I think with Elena, they tried baking in a drive rush throw loop, but that's a pretty interesting idea. If they give that to jury, I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but at the same time, I think jury's thing is like, close range rush down, so maybe they should keep her dash throw loop. That might be a controversial opinion, obviously, but maybe give us a little bit more punishment for going for throw loops. Hell, if you have to, Capcom, make drive reversal -5 on block, just so you have to, just so it's not as punishing. But I'm kind of like going on a tangent here. I'll continue with my notes here. Okay, so that's it about throw loops in my case. Now, I've been talking about all the good in Street Fighter 6, but there are some main cons in this game. I think rank may be a bit too easy. Besides, more masters are made every day, and I'm just a part of them. I've been, doing ranked since launch, and I'm, plat 5. So, with, a 50% win rate, you can get, master in, maybe the longest time would be, a year or two. Especially if I haven't played fighting games before, but there's been people that have, just gotten to the game, 2 years ago and are already, at, 1600. Of course, in my personal experience, in Street Fighter V, I couldn't make it past bronze, so maybe I suck or something, but I still think ranked is a bit too easy, especially with how they dealt with their streak bonuses. I understand with more streaks, it'll, that's like a difficulty spike. I understand the streaks are for difficulty spikes. And that is to, get you to the rank that you can be. Now, don't get me wrong. Street Fighter 6's rank, I think, is very accurate. At least in my experience. I went from gold to plat with, the knowledge that I already have from, last game and, the beta of, the last open beta that they had before launch. I got pretty far with the fundamentals that I already know. Now, I know I'm not the best player, but I think ranked in general, like, don't get me wrong. The cons is that, like, new masters are made every day and you can't rank down from master. But I think maybe, here's an idea. Maybe an idea is that if you hit 0 MR, you should be kicked back to diamond. That might be fair enough for this sort of leniency in Street Fighter 6. But at the same time, if you're doing good, if you got like a streak going on, yeah, sure, bump yourself up to master if you're doing like more than a 10-win streak if you're in diamond. Besides, a lot of people have played side characters, besides their mains, and they're like, really, really, really good. And I've known a few people who are like that personally. Online, of course. I mean, I'm a little bit active in the community personally, but, maybe my opinion doesn't matter in that sense. Another thing, oh yeah, rank inflation. I wrote something about rank inflation. That might be a little bit of a problem, but that's the reason why I think we should rank back down to diamond after 0 MR. Just so there's at least a little bit more of a punishment for being at that point where you're so bad, then maybe you need to go back to diamond. Besides, some say that diamond 6 is anywhere from 0 to less than 1300 MR, I think. I mean, that's what I've heard, at least. Now, as far as like the game itself, it has gotten less fun over time. The balance has stayed the same, albeit that's not really a problem. But it has, as far as like us jury mains, we have stayed the same throughout the entirety of the game, other than maybe a buff to our Death Crest target combo. Getting more super. And also being able to cancel into super from it. But that's not really much an incentive to use it, Capcom. Come on. I'm pretty sure a lot of jury mains also express this opinion, but like we need more anti-fireball stuff. Bring back our Ryo-Donsatsu even if you have to, put it towards like a quarter circle back punch. That or our counter from Street Fighter 4. Besides, you brought back your dive kick from Street Fighter 4. I don't think it's very good. But, I'm trying not to let this be like a jury rant video. But, believe it or not, in Street Fighter 4, we used to have different angles, just like Cammy, based on the strength of the button used. I don't know why that they actually didn't bring that back. It was an interesting idea. Sorry. Sorry for the pause there. I might edit that out a little bit later, but I'll probably not. It depends on how good I can do at this video. Anyway, some other points. Okay, so I got 2 more points here. Virtual currency and FOMO, and too much avatar focus and too little on characters. Now, the latter that I just said, too much avatar focus, they have been a little bit better at giving characters alternate costumes. Like, for instance, Jury just got the Aespa collab costume, as well as the Battle Hub change. There has been Outfit 4 announced since the making of this video, along with Sagat, and like Season 3 in general, or at least what they call Year 3. But over the course of Season 2, I think, as far as my thoughts so far on it, they were way too focused on World Tour mode and the avatars. Like, real Street Fighter players won't really do avatar battles. If anything, the casual audience is more geared towards avatar battles. And like the people who play like fighting ground, like ranked and casual, maybe a little bit of battle hub here and there, but like mostly ranked and casual, and a lot of training and custom rooms via like Discord and all that. We're like left in the dust, man. It's like it's terrible. Because it used to be like in Street Fighter V, we used to have like costumes every 3 to 6 months. There was a lot of news in Street Fighter V, and even like holiday events. But then they like kind of now maybe it's because of the graphics and how they have to like model everything. Maybe it takes a little bit more work. But I think that they need to like really put out the outfits for us to like spend our shekels on, you know, so to speak. Especially if they're going to do virtual currency. Now, what I really don't like that they did was battle passes. Now, sure, I'll let you on a little bit of a secret. I'm guilty of buying the battle pass, the premium rewards. Yeah, I'm a bit more of a shill than I think. But at the same time, I don't really like it. Now, sure, it's a little bit fun to like spend $5 here and there, and like have a chance to get your $5 in coins back. But like, when will they re-release it for those who haven't played yet? I can't help but think that like just doing exclusive content just to be exclusive. That's not good. Especially for like the long term of the game. Now sure, I haven't really missed barely any beats as far as like the battle passes go. It's a fun thing to grind at least, don't get me wrong. There's at least a pro for grinding battle passes, but I think they're leaning a bit too much into their monetization for that. I think they should release more costumes. Especially for those characters that don't get as much love as, like, say, you know, the female fighting game characters like Cammy or Chan or, you know, the hot ones. But yeah, so that's probably my thought about Street Fighter 6. I will add a bonus note about Elena. Now, she was a menace in Street Fighter 4 as far as I remember, or as far as I remember hearing. I wasn't active in the Ultra Street Fighter 4 community at launch, but, you know, I was more into, like, Street Fighter 5. But I was really young back then in the Street Fighter 4 era. But Elena, I think she had a bit of a glow-up in Street Fighter 6. I have played her in arcade mode at least, and she's fun. She's pretty fun. Not someone that I would think about, you know, playing against other players. I have played her style against avatar battles. But other than that, I still need to explore her. Maybe I'll do a video about it. I could do my placements. You know, let's just see what you think, guys. I could do my placements and record those placements. Or at least, you know, rip the recordings from my PS5. I play on console, by the way. If it wasn't obvious enough, you know. Like, I also play on pad. But that's like a little bit of extra shit for those who made it this far. Like some 23 minutes into the video. This is just like my yapping as far as like my opinion on Season 2 going into Season 3. Now, as far as Season 3 goes, I will add an extra tidbit on Season 3. As far as the jury buffs and nerfs go, I mean, she just received some, like, universal nerfs. And also maybe a buff to her back heavy kick, but doesn't really change much. She's still the same character as she was in season 1, but I think that's pretty good as a character who stays consistent all throughout the changes of those characters who get like, you know, super giga buffed like Ryu, and like other characters who got nerfed. Like they nerfed her throw loop. But, you know, I will give you a little tidbit about myself. I did play Mai for a little bit. I got like gold 3 or 4. Maybe not even that, but she is a fairly easy character to pick up. If not like one of the best characters in the game. But other than that, I hope you liked this note of season 1, 2, and 3, because like this was supposed to have been like my thoughts about Street Fighter 6 as a whole. I think it's a pretty good game, but it can be better. It can be much, much better. So that's kind of like my chill yap on Street Fighter 6 as of Season 3. I will probably update this video later on, going in Year 3 as we get more characters. Maybe I can do a Sea Viper video or an Alex video. I'm excited for those characters, honestly. But if you like it, just make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more like this. So, signing off, this is Punk Rock Gamer. And I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be for you. So, peace.